The Oracle Network. Look deeper.
Reggie sliced Michael's pinky open just like an hour ago.
No.
Like the whole pinky.
No.
Like all the way down.
Tip to taint.
Tip to taint.
Sup, friends?
Hey guys, welcome. I'm Abby.
And I'm Shauna.
And this is Anxious.
And Afraid.
The podcast.
That we do.
Yep.
We try to do every week, but it hasn't been happening that way.
We know how that goes lately.
We're in a real weird funk these days.
We understand if you don't trust us anymore.
Very true.
But yeah, we talk about things that make us anxious, like conspiracies and ghosts and
True crime.
And
all the stuff.
we keep it fresh, we keep it funky. We switch off each week.
Yes, we try to do that as well and be funny about it, but we are not sure if we are. Anyways, it's been a while, Abby.
Yeah.
So what made you anxious or afraid in these past couple of weeks?
Okay, past couple days, actually. I have a story for you that has been hard for me to keep in because I wanted to tell you.
I think you're better at it than I am.
I was like, save it for the podcast.
Tell me everything.
Well, we were supposed to hang out earlier this week, so it's good that we didn't because I probably wouldn't have been able to keep it in.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like one of those weird glitchy stories.
Get out of town. No way. Okay, go.
It's weird. Michael probably thinks I'm losing my mind, but I'm going to tell you what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, shut up, Michael. Go.
Okay, so I was in bed
Okay.
with, like, we're like sitting in bed watching, I don't know what you're watching, Futurama probably.
Probably.
Yeah. And
Cute.
what?
I said cute.
Oh, you said cute.
Yeah.
I thought Michael said cute.
Sorry.
Through your voice. Okay, so we were sitting there and I have like my bedtime migraine pills that I take every night.
Sure.
And I was looking for the bottle and I couldn't see it anywhere on my nightstand. And I was like looking around and I was like moving stuff around on my nightstand so I could see better, like moving my water cup, like just to make sure it was not there. And I was like, oh, damn it, like I probably knocked it off and now it's under the bed. So I get out of the bed. Michael, I don't know, were you paying attention at this point?
Yeah, when you got off the bed, I was looking over confused.
Because I did not explain myself.
No, you just looked concerned.
I'm like digging for my bottle. So now I'm like at eye level with my nightstand, looking right at it. Not there. So I like look in between the bed and like under it. And I see the bottle. And I was like, oh, there it is. So I grab it. And I realize there's only like 3 pills in that bottle. So it was like an old bottle that I forgot about.
Okay.
Because I knew my current bottle is full.
Right.
And
okay.
So I was like, okay, well, dang it. And I like looked harder and I couldn't find it. And I was like, well, I'll find it later. Like at least I have these 3 or whatever. And then, so I take the bottle and I'm still on the floor. And I like reach up and I just smack it right on the nightstand. And like as I look at it, I smacked it right down next to my full pill bottle.
Whoa. And you were so sure that you looked at it and it was not there.
It was such a weird like movie moment because it was just like, I don't know, I was like eye level with it. It was right in front of my face. And like I smacked my pill bottle down right next to a full one.
Oh, interesting.
That I swear to God was not there like seconds ago.
You like checked almost like twice, right? Is that what you said?
A few times.
times?
Thoroughly checked because I didn't want to get out of bed.
Right. Which is a great reason.
I just like sat there and like stared at it for a while and I was like,
oh my gosh, how funny.
I was like, am I crazy? And I was like, Michael, something weird just happened.
Or it could be like a ghosty thing. Maybe it was there and now it was, or it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Because we'd been talking about like a past family member that night. So there was all kinds of like weird energy.
Weird.
It was just weird.
Spooky ooky.
Yeah, I don't know. But I was like,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I think Michael, did you believe me? Do you think I'm crazy? I think he thinks I'm crazy.
He thinks we're both crazy.
Nah, your mind is so open you can perceive universes that
That's
are
right.
just overlapping with ours on an ethereal plane.
Smarter people have open minds.
But yeah, it was weird.
That is so weird.
Threw me through the loop and I was like, don't text her. But I almost did like 2 seconds later.
That would be hard because that's like extra like weird. I feel
Yeah.
like I would text you immediately.
I know, because I was like, glitch in the matrix.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah, that was my thing. What made you anxious?
Well, I mean, it didn't really make me anxious or afraid. It made me sad.
That's
And I guess I'm a little anxious now because now I have like PTSD over it. But Michael deleted my episode, and I'm a little heartbroken over it.
It's gone. Get over it. And I'm sorry.
that's what he really means. He has to like throw that salt in front of it because he can't.
He can't truly be
He can't
showing
show his
his
true
emotions.
feelings, yeah.
I get it.
It's shame.
I'll cry right here. I'll cry right now.
Well, luckily it was like kind of like a bullshit episode, I guess I would call it. I didn't
like
really
a
work
little
hard.
one.
Yeah, it was a little one. I didn't really work too hard on it, and we got to like, talk back and forth and bullshit a lot.
Yeah.
Like we got in that argument about Oreos, which we
Yes.
decided to post on Instagram. So that was fun.
Yeah.
I will admit there's a lot more thins than I thought in this world.
There was like
But
flavors people were talking about that I had never even heard
Like
of.
a rainbow one or a pistachio one. I was like,
the
what?
coconut one sounded really good.
It did sound really good.
I was like, oh, sign me up for that.
Yeah, that was fun. A lot of people participated, and it was pretty equal, I thought. So
Yeah, I thought so too. We had good turnout on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
people know where the thins are.
So don't delete my next episode, Michael, or you're gonna get, in more trouble than you were last time.
I don't know. I'll do my best.
His fingers like hovering over the delete button.
Did I hit record? I did. Okay.
He's like,
Oh my
don't
gosh, save it right
do
now.
it. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen ever again. It probably will.
It's all
someday.
good.
It's got to happen at least once.
Right. We're officially podcasters because like we've gone through these, epic mistakes.
Yeah, we've had one completely delete while we were recording it, and
Right.
now we've had one delete while we were completely done.
Yep.
I'm sure there's others out there that we'll find.
I'm sure we'll make more mistakes.
Well, did you know today is like our 50th episode?
Is it?
Yeah.
Because we don't include my deleted episode, right?
Right.
Right, because no one heard it.
That one was also episode 50, but that's
I
one
see,
of the
I
lost
see, I
ones.
see.
This is the addendum to episode 50.
Interesting.
So
Okay, fun. Look at us, 50.
50.
That's a big milestone.
that's half of one hundo.
Wow.
Wow. What do you do at 50 years old?
I wish I could travel, but
Are you saying that as a 50-year-old? You still can't travel?
probably.
My feet swell up.
They do something.
Yeah, 50.
That's cool.
Yes.
What theme is it? What are you doing for us?
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked that because I'm going to start out today a little differently by not telling you
Okay.
what my cute little story is about today.
Oh, I love it. Okay, I'll figure it out in the middle.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
kind of.
Okay.
And the only hint you get is that there are some similarities to another case I've done in the past.
Okay.
Okay. So I figured we could build the suspense.
Okay,
a
so
little.
it's kind of related to another episode that you've done in the past.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Kind of on theme, yeah.
Oh my God, hilarious. Continue.
Okay, so 50th episode's about to get weird.
Let's do it.
Also, I think this particular episode topic will really get you in the mood for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
If you
fall,
celebrate that holiday,
love.
since that will be coming out,
Next week for
yeah,
us.
so this episode will be a couple days before
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, before I get to the bizarre bits, allow me to familiarize you with the time period we will be traveling to with some fun facts.
Okay, love this.
I know you love my fun facts. So, the year is 1876.
1876.
And guess what happened in 1876?
What?
Alexander Graham Bell makes the first successful telephone call by saying, "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you." Like, please and thank you wouldn't have hurt, but
But it was the first phone call ever.
yeah.
That's
Mr.
so
Watson,
cool.
come here. I want to see you.
Look how far we've come since the first phone call ever.
Yeah, pretty wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
And can you even believe I procured the title of one of 1876 top songs for you?
What? Okay.
There's quite a few,
Oh,
but
wow.
I picked my favorite. Are you ready?
Okay.
It's called "Gay as a Lark"
No.
by Septimus Winter.
What a name.
Septimus, you are a winner in my book because you have a cool ass name and that song sounds great.
Wow. Is
Gay-
that like
Gay as a
meant?
Lark?
Yeah. Is that like the word gay meant as like happy as
Yeah.
like in some Christmas songs?
Yeah,
Okay.
like olden times gay, but applied now, it's awesome.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so that's one of the top songs.
Such fun facts.
One more for you. Wyatt Earp started work in Dodge City, Kansas, serving under Marshal Larry Degger. So just in case you didn't realize he was a real person.
Wait, who is that?
Wyatt Earp? He was like a famous, like, I don't know, like sheriff or... You really don't know who Wyatt Earp
Never
is?
heard of this.
What?
No, I don't know who that... Why would
Michael,
I know
do
a
you
famous
know-
sheriff?
Yeah, he was what? Like a was he a marshal? He wasn't a marshal, was he?
What
I
happened?
just
Why
remember
is he
he was
famous?
like in the Old West.
He was a lawman.
Yeah, he was like, he caught the bad guys in the...
Oh,
Well, anyway.
sorry, that one right
Went
over my head.
Right over your head. I was like, I guess no, everyone's dad didn't make them watch Westerns growing up.
That
Just
is-
me.
No, not at all.
Well, anyway.
Tombstone.
And our story today takes place in Kansas.
Okay.
Not Dodge City, but do you think that's where like get the heck out of Dodge came from? Do you know that saying?
I've heard it.
Dodge City?
I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Someone tell me. Anyway, our story today takes place on a farm in the county of Bath, Kentucky,
Okay.
which sounds like somewhere I would enjoy if they really celebrated a good bath.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I just love a beautiful soak.
Oh, me too.
We were just talking about it.
Treat yourself. You got to soak in a bath.
Yes. But this is the 1800s, so probably not.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on a beautiful Kentucky farm owned by Alan and Mary Crouch. It's a lovely sunny day on March 3rd, 1876.
Okay.
Mr. Crouch and his son were out running errands for the day and were due to return later in the afternoon. Mary Crouch was out in the yard at around noon, taking advantage of the nice weather and using the opportunity to boil animal fat to make some soap.
Lovely.
As one does.
As you do.
That sounds
Thank you.
delicious.
Sorry. I won't step on your script.
No, I mean, soap was kind of gross back in the day.
Lye, right? You got to get the lye.
Tallow?
Sure.
Tallow?
You guys are saying words I don't know.
I think you
Google
melt
things?
the fat down to make tallow.
What's tallow?
It's like a ingredient in olden time soap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
Well, it's not stuff that you really need to know anymore.
I don't know Westerns. I don't know old soaps.
It's just taking up space in my brain that probably algebra could have fit in, but I didn't. Did you look it up, Michael?
Yeah, you pretty much just reciting right off the wiki here.
Oh, fuck yeah. I wrote it, so. I wrote the Wikipedia on old soap. Do you have anything to add? Or
Rendered form of beef or mutton fat, primarily made up of triglycerides. You said that, right?
I didn't say triglycerides.
Solid at room temperature. In the soap industry and among soap making hobbyists,
Hobbyists.
the name tallowate is
a big
used
industry.
informally to refer to soaps made from tallow. It's obtained by reacting tallow with lye.
Oh, that's
All
see,
right,
we were
yeah.
both right.
Wow.
Not vegan.
Not at all.
All right. So now that we have all had a good lesson on
Old soaps.
ancient soap techniques. So also outside with Mary was her 11-year-old grandson, and he's just chilling nearby in the grass. So as Mary labored over the grueling task, she noted that the sky was clear and blue with a slight breeze blowing in from the west, which is perfect weather for fat boiling. But Mary was startled from her concentration on the fat boiling by a slapping, wet thud coming from behind her. She turned to inspect
Wait.
what could have made the noise and saw a small red and white lump of some kind of material lying near her in the grass. But before she could get a closer look, something else caught her eye.
Okay.
Flecks of the same material were falling from the clear blue sky.
Wait. Okay. I'm going in a roller coaster right now. So I was like, wait. Okay. It has to do with like this. What do we call it? The tapioca rain.
Yeah, tapioca.
That episode. But then I was like, wait, no, this is the 1800s, and that episode wasn't the 1800s.
No, you're right though. This is like that's the connection. Is it's
similar. It's a similar mystery.
stuff falling from the sky. That's your weird,
Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay.
weird fucking connection. But it was in the 1800s.
Okay, I got it. Okay, I'm following, and I'm there with you.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, wait. So it's a lumpy white and red thing,
Yeah,
falling from the sky.
but before she could get a closer look, then she started seeing flecks of the same material falling from clear blue sky
Clear blue sky.
all around her.
Okay.
Mrs. Crouch turned to her grandson to ask him what was falling, and he said, "Why, Grandma, it's snowing." The smallest pieces drifted to the ground like snowflakes, while other, larger pieces fell from the sky at a faster speed, landing with a squelching thunk while speckling the earth with red droplets from the impact.
Okay, is like, what's the texture of this? Is it like jelly or like milky?
Well, are you starting to have any guesses? What would your best guess be from the information you have?
I mean, it's falling from a clear blue sky. I have no idea. At first, I was thinking like animal and grossness, like their intestines or something.
Sure.
But now I have no idea.
All right, well, here's a hint. The events on this day would come to be known as the Kentucky meat shower.
Oh, no.
Delicious.
Oh, no. How is that possible still? How are they getting meat? What are they do? How are they doing it?
Oh, you might not ever get any resolution. I'm just warning you now.
Damn it. It's another fucking mystery. I can't handle it.
It's so weird.
I can't handle these. Okay.
Ah, I know. I just love it, though, because it's so, like, such a mind fuck. Like, what the?
That is a total mind fuck.
Okay, there are some reasons that I'll go over. But
Please.
So, well, Mrs. Crouch finally got a good look at the material, and to her horror, realized raw meat was raining down from the cloudless sky.
Oh, no.
The mystery meat deluge continued for a couple minutes before stopping, and then when all was said and done, the pieces of meat covered an area of about 100 by 50 yards, which is about the size of a football field.
Get out of town. Get out of here.
There,
Don't. That much meat?
That's a lot of meat.
How many cows is that?
I don't know how many cows. We don't know if it's a cow.
Oh, okay.
There were bits of meat everywhere. They were on the road,
Gross.
on the house.
Gross.
There were even bits found hanging off a fence railing.
Oh, I bet it doesn't smell good.
Probably not. Mrs. Crouch was quoted saying that there was enough meat to fill a horse wagon.
Which holds one horse, right?
Or is equivalent to a metric butt ton.
Huh?
A butt ton.
I'm fucking with you. I don't know.
Like a butt ton of it.
It's a butt ton. Look it up.
Or a shit ton.
Yeah, a lot of meat. Whatever fills a horse wagon.
That is crazy.
Like a big old wagon.
But it's like ground up.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's raw bits of meat. So,
But like, do you see a foot? Do you see ear? Or is it like all mushy?
Girl, I'm about.
I'm
to
sorry.
get into
I'm
You're
pulling at you.
Yeah.
And I'm asking so many questions.
I understand your concern and your confusion, and I will get to it.
But I have so many questions, so let me say them before you answer them.
Let me interrupt everything you wrote down.
Okay, that's hilarious.
All right. The bits of raw meat ranged in size from just small flecks to chunks measuring 2 by 2 inches, with at least one piece as big as 4 by 4 inches.
Ew.
The specimens had muscle tissue as well as visible fat and sinew still attached, and none of them were clean cuts. The bits of tissue looked as though they had been torn, with no identifiable patterns in relation to each other's size or shape.
Okay.
Mrs. Crouch was quoted saying, "It looked gristly, as if it had been torn from the throat of some animal."
Ew.
Well, this understandably freaked out Mrs. Crouch,
Yeah.
who did not stick around to see the entirety of the meat shower. She ran inside, refused to come out.
It's stupid.
No, I heard that joke. Somebody wrote that joke, so you're not the only one.
All right.
You made what was it again? Did you
The
see it?
meteor shower.
Meteor shower.
I don't know. It's just cheese ball. It's a dad joke.
Oh, A+. Yeah, so she's freaked out, and after seeing the meat rain, she had a horrifying thought as to where it was coming from. She was quoted in the New York Herald under the best article title ever, which was "The Carnal Rain." Carnal rain. Carnal rain. It's the sequel to
Oh my god.
Tapioca Rain.
That's hilarious. So many types of rain.
So many.
But only sung to the song of Prince.
Of course.
Yes.
There would be nothing else to do.
Exactly.
So this was in the article. Quote, This is what she's saying when she like freaked out. When this is like what she was thinking about.
Okay.
A vague idea that my husband and son, who were away, had been torn to pieces and their remains were being brought home to me in this way by the wind flashed through my mind at that moment. I was also impressed with the conviction that it was a miracle of God, which as yet we do not understand. It may have been a warning, as coming events are said to cast their shadows before. Like, well, if it's a miracle, you kind of spat in God's face a little bit.
Yeah.
Wasted his gift to you.
She first thought it was her husband and son, like them ground to bits.
Pretty metal. I don't think that would be my first thought.
Pretty metal.
Like, oh, Michael, is this your shoulder hair? I don't know. This is a mole.
Yeah, that's pretty dramatic. But
it is the 1800s, and people had like weird thoughts back then.
oh, I mean, you had nothing else to think about except for all the weirdness. And then how the hell do you explain this in the 1800s? It makes no sense.
Even now, it makes no sense. So back then, they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's like extra crazy.
Mm-hmm. So there were a few who weren't so disturbed by the falling mystery meat and instead looked at it as free dinner. The farm cat,
Makes two.
farm cat, chickens, and pigs began feasting on the bits of raw meat until they could eat no more.
Well, I'm glad that animals ate it.
Yeah, fat and sassy. Probably really happy. The Crouches did, however, collect a few samples for safekeeping. Well, Mr. Crouch did. Apparently, Mrs. Crouch wouldn't have anything to do with it. She wouldn't go near it.
Freaky as fuck.
But even still, there was still plenty of specimens spread across the farm for others to find. Mm-hmm. And after news of the weird-ass meat rain became public knowledge, neighbors and reporters flocked to the farm, hoping to see the strange meat for themselves. Mm-hmm. But even big-time publications wanted a piece of the story, with reporters from the New York Times and the Scientific American showing up to see the sights.
Wow.
By the end of the ordeal, there were hundreds of witnesses willing to swear by the truthfulness of the events and the good merits of the Crouch's character. Out of the countless people who witnessed the aftermath of the Kentucky meat shower, there were several who had theories as to what kind of protein we were dealing with here. Even though by the next day, the meat it looked amazingly fresh the day before, but now it had dried up in the sun, shrank down considerably. So it's kind of like
turned brown,
like shriveled up. Yeah,
cooked meat.
Mm-hmm. Also goes without saying, it's probably rotting by now.
Extra not smelly. Good.
Delicious. Mr. Crouch, after first observing the meat, remarked that it looked like thin slices of a Mississippi catfish to him. Sky sashimi.
Sushi.
Free sushi. A man named Harrison Gill came to the farm the next day to investigate the scene and said that the specimens looked like they had fallen from a great height, and to his best guess was beef.
Yeah, okay.
So what's for dinner?
Totally. I mean, that's what I would think of too.
A local butcher named Mr. Frisbee, which I thought was hilarious.
Nice.
Because I think this is before Frisbees were a thing.
Oh, yeah. When were Frisbees a thing?
I don't know, Michael, you like Frisbees. Do you know when they came about?
Ooh, no idea.
Well, you're not Mr. Frisbee.
Nope.
Taking that title away. So, local butcher named Mr. Frisbee examined the meat. Someone who you would think would know his way around a hunk of meat. And was like, well, the only way to really, truly know what this meat is about is to eat it.
You gotta taste it.
And he ate a piece.
Oh.
Day old, sun-dried mystery meat.
Just like he didn't cook it? Like he didn't put it on a pan or
popped in
fire?
his mouth.
Oh, no.
And he said it tasted neither like flesh, fish, or fowl. Like, thanks for your help, dude. I hope
What does
that
it
bite was
taste like?
worth it.
Yeah.
He did say that the meat oozed a milky clear liquid.
Ew. No.
When he was handling it, but that was like days afterwards, so it was probably just rotting.
Ow.
I would imagine.
Ow, gross.
But if you think he was the only man to pop a chunk into his mouth with reckless abandon, you would be wrong, because there were just too many.
Sick? Continue.
Somehow they didn't. I didn't hear about anyone getting sick. I was like,
God.
How?
Yeah.
Maybe they just ate so much weird shit back then, their stomachs were stronger.
Who knows?
I don't know. Okay, so two men who I never saw their names published anywhere, both took a taste. Casual lunch date.
Jerky.
Yeah. And they both came to the conclusion that it was either mutton, which is old sheep meat, or venison, which is deer meat.
Okay.
A man named Joe Jordan tried a piece of the meat after it had already been collected and saved for about 7 days.
Oh, no.
This guy actually put some in his mouth, but spit it out before he could get a good taste because it was, you guessed it, disgusting.
Oh, my God. Ew.
He said, quote, "I squeezed some of the pieces I had, and a brown mucus came from it.
This is really gross, Abby.
Some of the meat was very dry, like dried beef. It was elastic and thin, and there appeared to be a fine wool-like fiber running through it in all directions. The smell was offensive to the extreme." Like that of a dead body.
Yeah.
Duh.
It is the dead body.
Yes, 7-day-old rotting meat.
Ew.
Offensive to the extreme. I want to start saying that. I say that to Roscoe when he farts.
Nice.
That smell was offensive to the extreme. So, wait, can we take a break really quick?
Yeah.
Yep.
My mouth be dry as fuck.
What do you listen to in between episodes of Anxious and Afraid? How about a scary episode from another indie creator? Check out Scary Time.
Lock your doors, check under the bed, and turn on a nightlight because it's time for the scariest stories, history, and conversations ever heard.
Every week, an independent creator tells us about the paranormal,
Ghosts,
monsters,
hauntings,
creepy places,
enchanted objects,
aliens,
and more.
best of all, if you like the creator, you can follow them for more great content, if you dare.
And you guys, we are being featured in this series. Our episode, The Dybbuk Box, is in there. So if you haven't listened to that, make sure you check it out along with a bunch of other awesome creepy podcasts.
That's awesome. And you can check that out with the link indiedropin.com.
We will also have the link in the show notes, even with one directly to our episode.
Stay tuned for more Anxious and Afraid.
So there was a crusty old trapper named B.F. Ellington who listened to...
I have dirty thoughts in my head. Sorry.
How dare you disrespect
It's just what you could call an old vagina or something. That's fine.
an old trapper?
Yeah. It's just what's going through my mind.
But do you also know what a trapper is
No.
back in the day?
No.
So it's like someone who they would go and like set traps for animals, and then they would,
Just get them for the fur.
yep,
All about them furs.
they want the fur. It's
I
sad.
think it makes sense.
So anyway, imagine that kind of guy.
Yeah, okay.
He lives in
Gotcha.
the mountains.
Cool. So cool.
Doesn't talk much to people, probably. All right, so B.F. Ellington, who listened to everyone else's opinions on what it could be, and then he stood up to make a grand speech.
Wait,
As
what's
you
his
do.
name?
B.F. Ellington.
Stands for bad fucker.
It actually stands for something even better than that you will find out at the
Oh,
end.
yay.
Beef.
Beef. Beef.
Just beef.
Beef Ellington. Beef Wellington.
Yes.
That's a thing. I think we're on to something. All right, so this guy, he talked a lot. And the newspaper I read quoted all of it. And I'm not going to say it all.
Okay.
But it honestly was all amazing. But I don't have the time.
I'm sure it was so epic.
Yes. All right. Should I attempt to do an accent?
If you have the balls.
It'll be Southern. It's probably going to be bad. All right.
Do it.
Here comes the speech. Gentlemen, I have fit bars. And he means bears.
Okay.
But it's actually written B-A-R-S in the newspaper because that's how he talks. Bars and other varmints in this range of mountains for 30 years. And if I do say it, when a bar crosses my path in the timber, he is damn dangerous locality. One of our skins has got to come off before the dispute is ended. And I still have all my hide yet. Though I have wrestled and rolled over acres of land with everything in the shape of man or brute that claims jurisdiction over the territory of eastern Kentucky. And apparently at this point, people cheered for him.
Okay.
Which they relayed in the article.
Pause for
Pause for cheers.
Yeah.
I have seen some of this meat that fell off Old Man Crouch's farm. And if it's meat at all, it's burr meat.
It's bear meat.
This meat that fell from the heavens at Alan Crouch's farm has got the uncommon greasy feel about it that I am so well acquainted with. And learned to know it by taking the jackets off of critters and toting their meat over the mountains. Jackets is their skin.
Okay.
If you didn't know that. I could not be mistaken about it. I know bar grease when I see it. Smelt it too. I know that smell as well as I know the smell of liquor. Gentlemen, it's bar meat certain, or else my name is not Benjamin Franklin Ellington.
Wow.
Benjamin Franklin.
Oh my gosh, hilarious. How epic and dramatic.
It was even longer. He went on about his mother's cooking.
I know my meat.
He was like, everyone got fat off of my mom's cooking. It's like, why are you talking about that? So he had a lot of conviction and a lot of passion.
Wow. So many unnecessary details, I'm sure.
Yeah, bear meat. There were also many people who had more superstitious ideas about the meat rain and its origins. Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, it was printed in many old newspapers that Mrs. Crouch saw toe and fingernails attached to some of the pieces.
Ew.
That's not true. Very
good.
untrue.
Okay.
Fake news.
Okay.
One man named Eli Willis, his name, collected a piece of meat and took it home, determined to eat it. His family overpowered him when they couldn't convince him not to eat it and locked him in a room in his own house. They then buried the meat on the property so Eli couldn't eat it. Another man named Mr. Armitage claimed to have seen the meat particles soon after they fell and said they were quivering.
Ew.
Ew. Like jiggling around.
Yeah.
He then attempted to touch a piece, but as soon as he made contact with his hand, a sharp pain shot up his arm, and he claimed his arm was partially paralyzed for the next half hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think he's a dramatic hoe, probably.
Probably.
He's just making it up.
This is weird.
There was also a family who lived in the mountains near the Crouch's farm who reportedly had a, quote, moral aversion to sheep meat.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. I don't know why.
Okay, because I'll leave it at that.
Anyway, the head of the household, an old man, took a sniff of the meat and declared it was sheep meat, and his family was given immediate orders to get ready to flee.
Okay. Hold on. Why are they so fixated on the type of meat it fucking is rather than how it fell from the fucking sky?
Everyone's like, no, it's steak. And you're like, no, it's fish.
No, it's sheep. It fell from a clear blue sky, people.
Sean is running around in a circle.
Where'd it come from? Not what you should be worried about. Where'd it come from? It's fucking aliens, dude.
And then you get burned at the stake.
Yeah.
Witch.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, continue. I'm frustrated. Go.
All right. The article from the True Northerner said, quote, had it rained mule meat, polecats, or most anything else, he could have stood it. But a shower of mutton boded nothing to him but distress and starvation. Like, what did sheep do to you?
Right?
What happened to you? Why?
Oh
So
my
passionate.
gosh.
Luckily, on the reverse side of that superstition coin is science.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of scientists were sent samples of the mystery protein in order to figure out what the F it was. A Louisville scientist named Professor J. Lawrence Smith was sent a sample of the meat, and after inspecting it, came to this conclusion. Quote, in my mind, this matter gives every indication of being the dried spawn of batrachian reptiles.
Okay, now the reptiles.
Doubtless that of a frog. Dried spawns, like frog eggs.
Okay.
They have been transported from the ponds and swamp grounds by currents of winds and have ultimately fallen on the spot where they were found. This is no isolated occurrence of the kind. I have come across several in the course of my reading.
Oh, really? Have you?
Nerd. He is, of course, referring to events of animal rain, which is super fun and something we will get into in a bit.
Oh, God. You're just like you're adding one on top of the other.
So this giant nerd casts his vote for frog spawn.
Okay, so we want them to be frog spawn.
No, this is just what he is saying.
Oh,
there's going to be a lot of opinions here.
Again, I don't care the type of meat. How did it fall from the fucking sky?
You know, we're going to get there, but you're going to hear a lot of theories first.
Oh my God.
About what it is. Because I guess that's all people were concerned about. I didn't really think about that until you pointed it out.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, I guess everyone... Well, I mean, they were like, oh, it came from the sky. That's weird. But like, yeah, they were more concerned with what it was. Huh.
So strange to me.
A scientist named Leopold Brandes, I think is his name, analyzed one of the samples, and his conclusion was published in the Scientific American that year. He stated, quote, "It has been comparatively easy to identify the substance and fix its status. The Kentucky Wonder is no more or less than nostoc." According to the Scientific American, nostoc is a type of cyanobacteria that forms colonies surrounded by a protective gelatinous envelope. Nostoc is known to swell up into a translucent jelly-like mass whenever it rains. So this organism has also been nicknamed star jelly, and it was actually one of the theories behind the Oakville blobs that I didn't really talk about because it was like easily ruled out. But
I like that. I like the name of that too. Star
jelly. There was other fun. Damn it! I should have wrote them all down. There's other fun names for it, but yeah. So that's another connection to Oakville.
Cool. Interesting.
But it wasn't the culprit in Oakville, and it's not the culprit here. Although people sure like to blame shit on it. I feel like it comes up a lot. It's nasty looking stuff. It looks like it's like big green blobs, and apparently it tastes like seaweed. It doesn't look anything like meat. So,
are you talking about the Oakville now?
I'm talking about the nostoc stuff.
Oh.
Which
okay.
is what they're blaming it on in both cases, but it's not what it is.
I see.
Because it looks, in real life, it's like these big blobs, and they're like gelatinous looking.
Yeah.
And I guess there's some species of it that are more flesh colored, but even still, they're gelatinous, and the stuff that people found was meat.
Is meat.
Yeah. It wasn't like jiggly.
Doggone it. What kind of meat
What kind of meat? It's bar meat. Bar. Oh, I bet that guy smelled terrible. Also, this stuff only comes about when it rains, and we know that it was a clear day during the meat showers.
Yeah, you said it was like March, right?
March, blue sky, maybe a couple floaty little clouds.
Again, why is that not the focus? How, where, how, when, why?
Girl, we're gonna get there.
Okay.
I know you're frustrated.
Sorry, I'm just being tortured.
I know, it's fine. Dr. A. Mead Edwards, the president of the Newark Scientific Association and an experienced histologist, which is the study of the microscopic structure of tissues, said the material was likely the lung tissue of a horse or a human infant.
No.
It's like one or the other. Classic mix-up. Damn, this is either horse or baby. I'm not sure.
A horse lung, right?
Horse lung.
Or a baby.
Yeah, lung tissue of a horse or a baby.
Yeah, totally like the same thing. Very similar.
Exactly the same. It's like, why horse and baby? Why wouldn't you pick like something more...
Are they roughly the same size?
I don't...
Horses were everywhere because that's how you traveled.
Baby lungs. They didn't really have a, like, I don't know, reasoning behind why he said... Not that I read anyway.
There's not a lot of reasoning.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
So that's that guy.
Okay.
Another histologist named Dr. J.W.S. Arnold agreed, saying the substance consisted of some kind of animal cartilage and lung tissue. The Scientific American reported that eventually 7 samples would be tested by 7 different scientists who confirmed 2 of the samples to be lung tissue, 3 to be muscular tissue, and 2 were said to be made of cartilage.
Okay, interesting.
So I think it's safe to say that we are definitely dealing with meat.
Yeah, totally.
And not frog eggs.
Yes.
With that said, let's get to some theories on how the flying fuck this meat rained from the sky.
Finally, girl, finally.
Let's start with the fun ones.
Okay.
Someone was having a delicious lunch in a hot air balloon. When oopsie poopsie pie dropped all this delicious raw meat over the side. Silly me.
Why would they have raw meat in a parachute? What, are they going to cook it?
There'd be so much meat, too. Just sprinkling here and there. Okay. A sprinkle for you.
I love that one.
Yeah, that's just had to put that one in there because what a fun way to start.
Yeah, some good thoughts.
You and Michael might appreciate this next one as it involves outer space.
Yeah.
A New York Times writer named William Livingston Alden proposed that the meat had been floating around in the atmosphere and had been knocked down to Earth by an asteroid.
Because meat's just floating around.
He explains himself thusly. Quote,
Okay.
according to the present theory of astronomers, an enormous belt of meteoric stones constantly revolves around the sun. And when the Earth comes in contact with this belt, she is soundly pelted. Similarly, we may suppose that there revolves about the sun a belt of venison, mutton, and other meats, divided into small fragments, which are precipitated upon the Earth whenever the latter crosses their path.
No. I'm not convinced.
So he thinks there's like an orbit
Of meat.
of floating meat. And you know, it's just sometimes it gets like knocked down to Earth.
That's how life started.
You're so right.
I much rather believe, like, in some weird theory that aliens abducted cows, as they're known to do. Mm-hmm. Not crazy thoughts.
No.
And somehow...
Wait, say that theory for the end.
Oh.
Keep it.
Okay.
Okay. Keep it, because I want to talk about aliens at the end.
I'm sorry.
Because I don't really talk about aliens much.
You don't... I'm so proud to go.
Okay. Yeah, because there wasn't really much online. Like, people weren't really talking about aliens that much, but we'll talk about it, because I think it would be fun.
It's the only option.
Like, that's the only answer. What the fuck? So this guy's a lot of fun, but sadly he is incorrect. But I bet people would pay like top dollar for a celestial hot dog. You know, or like
Totally.
a Cosmic Burger.
I would. Are you kidding?
Are you kidding?
I totally would.
Celestial hot dog, yum. But the fun doesn't stop there for Mr. Alden. He has another top dollar theory for us.
Give it to me.
He also theorized that the meat was actually the flesh of, quote, finely hashed citizens of Kentucky who had been caught in a whirlwind while engaged in a little difficulty with Bowie knives and strewn over their astonished state.
So there's like a tornado of knives and humans.
Always bring a tornado to a knife fight. That's what I always say.
This guy's a lunatic.
He's a New York Times writer.
Wow. This is hilarious. I love all of these.
He had another one. I didn't write it. I couldn't find it fully anywhere, but he was like, had this theory that like another planet possibly exploded, and these were the exploded remains of alien livestock that fell to our Earth.
No.
That was another one of his.
Because what's more likely?
He's so creative, though. I'll give him that. He's so creative.
His mom is probably like super proud. She's like, look at my boy write. Look at him write.
So many ideas.
Okay, the next theory is one you will recognize from the Oakville Blobs episode and the theory I mentioned earlier in this episode, which is animal rain, or rain of animals, as Wikipedia classifies it. Okay, here we go. A rain of animals is a rare meteorological phenomenon in which flightless animals fall from the sky. Such occurrences have been reported in many countries throughout history. One hypothesis is that tornadic
Fun.
water spouts sometimes pick up creatures such as fish or frogs and carry them for up to several kilometers, and you know, then they dump them somewhere else.
I mean, I've heard that. I've heard of raining fish. So.
Yeah. However, no one, like, scientists have never actually witnessed it happening, so it's just kind of like weird aftermath, right?
Yeah.
Where people are like, there's fucking fish everywhere.
Yeah.
Water spouts occur when a tornado forms over a body of water. So it makes sense that a twister might pick up some like fish or whatever.
I can believe it.
Yeah. Animal rain sounds crazy, but it happens a lot more often than you would think. Occurrences have been witnessed all across the globe dating back hundreds of years, like hundreds and hundreds of years.
Weird.
In fact, just a few years ago, in 2017, Stanford Avenue Elementary School in Oroville, California, saw the rain of about 100 fish consisting of carp and bluegill.
Ew.
The fish were found on the roof and spread across the playground.
Oh.
No other explanation could be brought forth to explain the mystery besides the like weird explanation of animal rain. There was like a fish hatchery, which was located not that far away from the school. So like maybe it was
From there?
Yeah.
What a horror story, though. Like,
2017.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. Now, Bath County, Kentucky was located near Dixie Alley, which is a region of the southern U.S. that sees a higher number of cyclones than the rest of the country. And at the time of the meat shower, March 3rd, that was the beginning of Dixie Alley's tornado season. Residents of Bath County theorized that a tornado formed over a butcher's shop.
So specific.
Sucking up cuts of meat and then traveling to the Crouch's farm where it ever so rudely deposited the viscera.
Oh my gosh, hilarious.
No, that's a fun one, but probably not what happened.
Not convinced.
There were hundreds of witnesses willing to attest to the fact that there were no cyclones in sight that day, and I'm pretty sure a spinning meat top would have been noticed by Mrs. Crouch, who was outside when it happened.
Or a destroyed butcher shop.
Yeah, like what? It just very politely picked up all the meat and then dropped it somewhere else? Probably not. So the last theory is probably the most plausible explanation for the meat shower, although it is one of the nastiest.
Okay.
Vulture vomit. Bird borf. Toss carrion cookies. This theory was actually suggested by the Crouches themselves, as well as a Louisville chemist and a chemist named Robert Peter. There are two types of vultures, or more commonly known as buzzards, in that region: the black vulture and the turkey vulture. Turkey vultures are a lot more common to that area and have been there for longer, from what I read. So we'll just talk about them. Mm-hmm. First of all, I love animals, but this bird is one ugly motherfucker.
Oh, I bet they're just hideous.
Their heads are all red and bald and prickly.
No.
It's truly frightening. Did I ever tell you that story about Katie and the vulture?
I'm not sure.
My sister Katie. She's like terrified of birds. Well, this might be why.
Did she get attacked by a vulture?
We lived in the country, and Taz, our cat, who was a glorious hunter. I think he had dragged like a muskrat, which is like a giant rat beaver.
Yeah, okay.
Up to the house, and it was like in the yard. And Katie got charged with the task of picking that shit up in a shovel and getting rid of it because it was gross. And so she approached it with the shovel, and she picked it up, and a giant ass, I think it was a turkey vulture.
Oh my god.
Swooped down from the sky and like landed and stole it, I think right off the shovel. And she freaked out and screamed and ran.
I mean, that is terrifying.
That might have been why she's so scared of birds now.
It makes absolute sense.
But I laughed really hard.
I mean, sorry, Katie, but ha ha ha.
But turkey vulture. And they're huge.
Oh, I bet.
Those things are massive. So yeah, sorry, Katie. They just put you on blast for the whole world. These birds have an amazing sense of smell and prefer to feed on fresh carrion, meaning animals that have recently died. If you remember, the meat found on the farm was very fresh. Mm-hmm. Fun fact, vultures urinate on their own feet to kill bacteria from their dead prey, and maybe just to cool off on a hot day.
Interesting.
It's precious. Here's another fun fact for you. When stressed or startled, vultures vomit. They will also vomit if they need to quickly take flight and are too heavy to fly.
Oh.
Cute little like emergency vom. What?
I'm too heavy. Let me lose a pound.
Yeah. They can eat up to a fourth of their own body weight in one sitting. So you can imagine flying would be difficult after that. Mm-hmm. These guys will even vomit half-digested food, which smells absolutely foul, as a defense mechanism. It deters predators from raiding their nests, and the vomit is so acidic due to the high acidity of a vulture's stomach that it can burn and sting animals it comes into contact with.
Whoa, grody.
I know, it's like they know they're repulsive, and they just like lean into it.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I'm gross.
Here's my poison vomit.
Yeah, and apparently they don't have a larynx, so they just grunt and hiss.
Terrifying.
They hiss when they're threatened.
Why do they exist?
It's so scary. But they're actually really good for the environment, like even though they're really nasty, because they eat dead, rotting things, which otherwise could contaminate like water sources.
True. I mean, we need fucking spiders. We need all the animals, so.
I know. I guess it's not up to us which ones get to be alive. Yeah. So they're so cute. Turkey vultures also nest in large groups, some as large as several hundred.
Oh my god, terrifying.
Terrifying. Ew, can you imagine
No.
coming up on them?
Those are all huge birds.
And they probably all just sit in like tree branches.
Oh.
Like just lined up.
My God.
When flying, they can travel as high as 20,000 feet and can soar without flapping their wings for hours by utilizing wind currents.
Nice.
It has also been observed on occasion when one vulture vomits among a flock of vultures, the rest of the birds will respond in kind, all simultaneously barfing up their last meal as well.
So maybe it was a flock of vulture birds vomiting all in one spot.
Right. So this behavior is called echo phenomena. It's the same thing that makes me yawn when I see someone else yarn. When they yarn, I do like yarn. But yeah, like when you yawn when someone else yawns,
Yeah.
or barf if someone else barfs.
Oh, I mean, totally. I mean, it's
It's actually found like throughout the animal kingdom. It's not uncommon.
no. I mean, like if you're in a car with somebody who barfs, you want to barf.
Yeah.
Or like if you're holding somebody's hair, you're like
yeah.
trying not to barf.
Right. The yawning thing, like I can't help but yawn if somebody else yawns around me.
That's true. It's a thing. I fall for it.
Yeah. So the theory goes that possibly a flock of vultures was flying far overhead when they were either startled by something that made them puke, or possibly one of them ingested a poison such as strychnine, which was commonly used during that time to deter like coyotes from other predators. So maybe they fed on something that was poisoned with strychnine. They're up there flying in the sky, having a great time as a group. And then one's like, and then he vomits, and the rest are like, oh, Gary, we love you. And then they all vomit too.
Okay, I mean, that makes logical sense, but you would think that they would remember the huge flock of birds.
Right. Well, but if they were flying high enough, it's possible that Mrs. Crouch didn't see them, especially since she was reported to be an old woman. It was the 1800s, so maybe her eyes weren't great. We don't know.
Makes sense. Damn it.
Damn it.
I want it to be alien.
I don't want it to be bird barf. Which is also hilarious if it was, because people ate it.
Ew.
I wonder if the stuff that leaked out was bird saliva.
Ew, you're killing me.
Maybe. Nasty. Oh, so nasty. But compared to the rest of the theories, it's really the only one that makes sense.
Yeah.
Unless, of course,
Aliens.
it was aliens. Now we can talk about aliens.
Good, do it.
What do you want to say about it? What was your theory?
Okay, so they're like known for like taking cows, dissecting cows, doing weird things with cows. And so maybe they put them in a meat grinder somehow, and they were like, okay, we're done with this meat. And then they just dropped it.
We're done with this part. This is for you now. I mean,
all I got.
I feel like I heard one other person kind of have a very similar theory where they're like, maybe because this is back in the 1800s, they weren't like great at abducting cows yet. And maybe they weren't great at like, you know, dissecting them. So it was all messy still. They're still figuring it out. And that's why it's all torn to shit. Because now it's usually like surgically, looks like it's been surgically cut, right? Well, not always, but usually with like the animal mutilations at our area, at least.
Yeah,
it's
we
usually-
have some in our area, Oregon, where they're like completely like drained of their blood.
Recently,
or
guys.
their organs are missing. Yeah, or like, yeah.
It's all very clean.
Clean cut. Doesn't make any sense.
No footprints.
Definitely fucking aliens. Weird.
Ew. Uncomfortable.
The fact that it like happens near us, I'm just like,
I know. But it's
Okay.
in Southern Oregon, so sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So you get for living in a desert. Aliens. Okay, so yeah, that's fun about aliens, but I'm not done yet.
Okay.
So you might think our story
Why are you
stops
so
there.
angry?
I'm not done.
Okay.
I know you think I'm done.
No.
I'm kidding. So there's one more weird chapter left.
Love it.
In Mount Sterling, Kentucky, every year a large festival is held in October where thousands of people gather to buy and trade goods. In 2007, a professor named Kurt Godey, who taught at Transylvania University, it's already a great start. He wasn't there to sell goods. Instead, he was handing out dark red, meat-flavored jelly beans to anyone who would eat one. Godey then eagerly awaited the opinions of the tasters, hoping to gather more data on the flavor of the jelly beans. To him, they tasted like, quote, a heavily sugared bacon with a metal aftertaste.
What?
Okay.
But some people had other opinions. One person said they tasted like strawberry pork chops, while others said they tasted like raw bacon, which sounds gross either way.
Yeah.
Not my favorite flavor. There was a reason this professor was pushing meat-flavored jelly beans. He had become obsessed with the story of the Kentucky meat shower due to the strangeness and mystery of the story. He was quoted saying, "I have a tremendous appetite for wonder. I believe people need wonder in their lives. I know I do."
You do you, boo.
Dork.
Dork. Loser. I think just the word wonder is what makes it dorky.
Yeah.
A tremendous appetite for wonder. So he loves wonder. Who doesn't?
I mean, yeah, it's a fucking mystery.
So after heavily researching the story, Godey had an insane stroke of luck. While clearing out storage units at Transylvania University, it's hard to say that without laughing. Like, what? Transylvania University in 2004, Godey came across an old, dusty jar containing a preserved specimen of what looked like a pale, fatty cut of bacon.
Wow.
The label was faded, but he could still make out the words Olympia Springs on the bottle, which was the name of the area the Crouches lived in. Olympia Springs was a fancy, popular resort a few miles away. Meaning, he had found a sample of the mystery meat. What are the fucking odds?
That is winning the lottery.
What are the fucking odds?
That is the coolest.
So crazy.
The fact that it's like still preserved in a jar. And what year was this?
1876. And this was 2004.
2004?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Holy shit is right.
Holy shit.
He's the one that finds it where this story is so obscure.
That's amazing.
Right? Just like jackpot.
Wow.
Odds. Crazy. So he immediately tries to get it tested. But the sample is just too old and contaminated to come up with any conclusive results.
Damn it.
But that didn't stop the professor from having some fun with it. He sent a sample off to a lab in Cincinnati in order to have the flavor profiles analyzed in order to create a jelly bean.
No.
With the specific flavors of the preserved meat sample.
Dork.
Why do you have to have it in a jelly bean flavor?
I know, of all things, a jelly bean? So weird. Godey had more than 1,000 made, and after he picked them up, couldn't resist giving one a taste. He said, quote, "The taste, frankly, is so vile." I remember thinking it was really strong. The first one I ate tasted like chemicals and sugar.
Yeah.
All the feedback collected from the event goers who sampled the meat-flavored beans was unfortunately inconclusive. Too many opinions to be helpful, I guess. So, despite his valiant and weird effort, the origins and identity of the mystery meat that rained down on Kentucky in 1876 may always remain unknown.
Oh my gosh.
The end.
Wow. Who knew there were so many mysteries of things falling out of the sky?
There's more where that came from.
Please make this a series or something. Like, continue to do weird sky stuff.
Do weird covers of Purple Rain.
Yeah, how many rains can we make up?
Yeah, I was shocked at how many actually things fall from the sky.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. Fun story, right?
That was a really fun one. Hilarious.
It's nice because no one got hurt. Well, except for whoever got eaten.
I guess.
But, no one got murdered. Yay.
Let's hope not.
It's a nice story.
It's probably poison vomit.
Ew. Poison Vomit.
Gross.
This is my band name.
That's a good band name.
Poison Vomit. Well.
Oh, boy. Okay. What do we do now?
Do a shout out.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. We have like a fan.
Yeah.
And she's been talking to us lately. She's been really active, which has been really awesome. And her name is Kimberlyn.
Hey, Kimberlyn, what up?
She's been so awesome. She got like a piece of our new merch recently.
Yeah.
And she told me she was like in New Mexico, so she's out of state.
Cool, so cool.
Oh my god, it's like a legit fan. I can't even.
Yay. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, you're awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys, we'll give you a shout out if you like talk to us and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What else? Have you been watching or listening to anything you want to talk about?
I mean, not really. We're just like going all through Portlandia stuff because we find Fred Armisen like the most funniest person ever.
He's so funny. I haven't ever watched that whole show.
Me neither, actually. So now we're starting from like beginning on up.
He's got a new series.
He does?
Yeah, on Showtime.
Oh, the space one?
Yeah, Moonbase 8.
I want to see that.
That looks really cool.
It looks hilarious.
Yeah, I
Good
love
cast.
his stuff. Hilarious.
Well, that's good. Portlandia. I feel like it got so cringy and weird at one point that I was like, I can't watch this.
It is, but but it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I should just rally.
Especially after like the first season, like the second and third, they like figure it out and it's hilarious.
Cacao.
Yeah.
Put a
So
bird
many
on
great- Yeah, so great.
Well, I watched, everyone's been talking about it, but I watched The Queen's Gambit. Have you seen that on Netflix?
Oh, I've seen the picture, but no, I have not.
It's good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I think, didn't your sister recommend it?
Yeah, she watched it too. She was like,
Nice.
watch it. I'm like, I'm already watching it. Don't tell me what to do.
Oh my God. Well, actually, that reminds me. I actually really wanted to start watching The Crown that's on Netflix. And I think we watched actually the first like 5 or 6 episodes and I love it.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
I haven't tried that
I
one.
mean, it's just like juicy British drama. And like I wanted to watch it because their new season just came out and it's like during the Princess Diana era. So I'm just like, yes,
Ew,
I must start.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So far it's been really good.
Well, yeah, Queen's Gambit is like, you know, kind of set in the, I think like 50s, 60s. So
Ooh, that's cool.
you get the amazing hair and makeup and all that.
Yeah.
Clothes. It's good.
Period shows.
About chefs. Chefs. It's about chefs. It's
fun.
about chess,
Oh, fun.
which doesn't sound fun, but it is. Female empowerment and all that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I don't think we have anything else. Just say happy Thanksgiving, you guys.
Yeah, be responsible, but have fun.
Yeah, make good choices.
Make good choices.
I hope you're eating a lot.
Mhm.
Maybe like you're listening to this in your coma and you're napping.
And you're falling asleep. And you're falling
And
asleep.
you feel, Michael, you're ruining it. You're feeling sleepy.
You're falling asleep now.
I'm so sleepy.
Jesus.
Stop ruining our other project.
He's under review, you guys.
He's in hot water for
We've
sure.
been having some issues.
The water keeps rising for
You
us.
got beef? Say it to my face.
I can't. There's a giant computer monitor in front of it.
That's what it's for.
But I can see your face. I can give you my glare.
Man.
I have a sharp glare.
Give
Look
it
over
to him.
there. Look that direction.
I saw that clear. I just got like chills all down my body.
Oh man, we're
All
ridiculous. Okay. Okay, so I'll like list where we are since you talked a bunch.
Yeah, I just did.
I'll give you a break. Okay, so we're on the internet and you can find us on our Instagram at Anxious and Afraid the Pod. We're on Facebook. We have a group and a page at Anxious and Afraid the Pod. We are on Twitter at AA the Pod. We are also on Patreon if you want to help us out. Patreon.com/Anxious and Afraid, where you get day early episodes, ad free, a shout out, and a sticker. What more can you want? I don't know. I don't know. You can also email us, talk to us, and that's anxiousandafraidthepod@gmail.com. And also check out our website. It's cute at anxiousandafraid.com. We have our merch link on our website and our Instagram bio. Check it out. It's pretty cute. Maybe you'll see some new stuff soon.
Maybe.
And if you can't do any of that, though, like give us a subscribe and rate us and do that because that's helpful.
Very helpful.
All right. Yeah.
Well,
So,
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Good up.
good
And
night.
Good night. Barbie. All right, let's do some credits. So we've got mysteriousuniverse.org, atlasobscura.com, timesmachine.newyorktimes.com, newspaperarchive.com, scientificamerican.com, wikipedia.com, ktvu.com, popsci.com, and the Unexplained Mysteries podcast. Our music is by Broke for Free, and we are edited by Michael.
Anxious and Afraid is partnered with the Oracle Network.
the Menendez brothers. We are talking about Pamela Smart. Andrea Yates.
I think that is kind of one of the first things that started my true crime obsession.
We're definitely going to be diving into the legal and psychological parts of this case.
First of all, you shouldn't be friends with people that ask you to cut up somebody's body. And on the flip side, you shouldn't be friends with somebody who is willing to cut up somebody's body.
If she is abusing drugs at 9 and 12 years old, it would make sense that there was some significant abuse going on in the house.
That's not normal.
Never trust the mother or the lover.
Who is a self-professed drug dealer in court?
That's why we always say get a lawyer, because you just fed them this information that they didn't have, and they're now using it against you.
Hi everybody, my name's Mary.
And I'm Deirdre.
And we're from Not Your Normal Murder Podcast. With my experience in psychiatry
and my experience in criminal justice,
we bring a fresh perspective on small town cases and those cases you can't forget.
If you love true crime, a little bit of sarcastic banter, but lots of objective research, come find us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts.
You know what's the best part of Hump Day? There's a new episode every Wednesday.
See you there.